You know what I thought living on a cruise ship would look like? I thought I'd wake up every morning to a perfect sunrise, have a beautiful breakfast, wander into some stunning port, come back, relax by the pool, sleep like a baby, and do it all over again. And I mean, some of that is true, but nobody told me about the part where you forget what day it is for like 6 weeks. Nobody told me I'd become completely unreachable to the concept of a schedule, and nobody warned me that the hardest thing about this life isn't the logistics, it's the stuff that happens on the inside. I've been living on cruise ships full time for over a year now, and today, here on the Majestic Princess, anchored in Le Havre, France, I want to talk about what actually surprised me. The stuff I didn't see coming, the good, the weird, the hard, and honestly, the stuff that changed me. Grab your coffee. This one's a good one. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura, and welcome to Living on Cruise Control, where just over a year ago, I left the corporate grind to pursue my dream of living full-time on cruise ships. If you're new here, welcome. Stick around because this channel is not your typical cruise review channel, today especially. And if you've been here a while, thank you. Genuinely, you're part of why I keep doing this. Let's get into it. Okay, surprise number one. And this one sounds almost too simple to say aloud. Time completely stopped making sense. When you're living a land-based life, time is structured. Monday feels like Monday, Friday feels like Friday. You have a rhythm, a week has a shape. On a ship, a Tuesday in Santorini feels nothing like a Tuesday in a cubicle or at home on your laptop, which is great, right? That's the point. But what I didn't expect was how disorienting it actually gets after a while. I remember being maybe 4 months in, talking to someone on the phone, and they asked me, "So what have you been up to lately?" And I genuinely could not answer the question, not because nothing had happened. I had been to something like 11 countries in 6 weeks, but because my brain had completely lost the ability to file things in the normal last week, 2 weeks ago, last month kind of way. Everything just kind of blurs together into this beautiful, slightly chaotic collage. And I'll be honest with you, at first that felt like a problem. It felt like I was losing my grip on something, like I should be tracking things better, journaling more, something. And then I realized I wasn't losing my grip. I was letting go on purpose. That was actually the whole point of this life, and I hadn't fully understood it until time stopped working the way it used to. It was so foreign to me to not be living my day, meeting after meeting, 30-minute block by 30-minute block on a Google Calendar, where time was stamped every minute, every hour of the day. Surprise number two, the people. Now, I knew cruises were social. I knew I'd meet people. What I did not know is how intense cruise friendships get, how fast. When you're on land, friendships develop slowly. You see someone once a week, maybe twice. You build a relationship over a number of years. On a ship, you meet someone at breakfast. By dinner, you know their entire life story. By the third sea day, you're saving deck chairs for each other and swapping port tips like you've known each other for years. Check out this wonderful family that I met on the way to Santorini. And we have this amazing driver who's taking us all around. Right
and
now
he's
we're
cute
in
too.
Ia. We're in Ia. And we're going to go hang out and spend the day together.
Let's go.
How awesome is that?
Let's
Who
do
says
it.
cruising is lonely? It's not lonely.
Not at all.
Never. And then they leave. They disembark, and you're standing on that same deck, watching the ship fill up with a completely new group of people, and you start all over again. I didn't expect that to hit me the way it did. The goodbyes are genuinely bittersweet. You meet these incredible humans, such incredible humans. You laugh with them, you share meals. Sometimes you share really honest conversations, the kind that you don't always have with people you've known for years. We are hanging out at this great coffee shop with my new adopted family. Look, I added 3 sons. Four. Oh, look, I added 4 sons. Sorry, Austin. You have some competition. Because there's no stakes, no history, no social politics, just 2 people on a ship talking. And then they're gone. And it's beautiful and it's a little heartbreaking at the same time. What I also didn't expect, how many of those people I'm still in touch with. The cruise world is small. You see people again, you follow each other's channels, you follow each other's cruise journeys, you follow each other's cruise trackers. Hi, you know who you are, and that part is genuinely wonderful. Okay, surprise 3. This one surprised me about myself more than anything else. I used to think I was a fairly adventuresome person. Adventurous. I traveled for work, I'd been to different countries, I tried new restaurants, but living on ships full time revealed something about me that I had to sit with for a while. I am a creature of habit, more and more as the days and years go on. I know how that sounds coming from someone who literally lives on a moving ship, but hear me out. When you're on a ship and you find the coffee spot that's perfect, you go back every day. Same chair if you can get it, same order, same barista. There's comfort in that when everything else, the port, the country, the fellow passengers, is constantly changing. The countries that you're looking for the perfect cup of coffee is constantly changing. I started to notice I was doing the same thing in ports, going to the same type of coffee shop, gravitating towards the same kind of neighborhood, ordering variations of the same coffee. Cappuccino with almond milk. And at first I was kind of embarrassed by that. Like, you're in France, Laura, branch out. You're in Italy. Shouldn't you be trying to find the best Italian coffee? But then I reframed it. My entire life is the branch. The port of Havre out my window right now, off my balcony right now. Ooh. That is the adventure. The sameness I create inside. That's not a weakness, that's how I sustain it. You can't live at full intensity every single day without burning out. And I think a lot of people who romanticize this life don't realize that. The surprise wasn't that I had comfort zones. The surprise was learning to be okay with them and to stop performing adventure for anyone, including myself. Let's talk about something more practical for a second, because I know this is always one of the biggest questions. Surprise number 4. What value actually means when you live on ships? Before this life, I thought about money the way most people do. Rent, bills, groceries, occasional vacation. I had a sense of what things cost. Cruise ship living completely rewired that. Here's what I mean. There are days where I'm standing in a port like today, and I could take a train to Paris. Perfectly reasonable thing to do, but I'm looking at the train ticket cost and thinking, is this worth it to me right now? And that question, is this worth it to me right now, sounds so obvious, but I had almost forgotten how to ask it. When you're living a corporate life, so many expenses are just automatic. You pay rent or mortgage because that's where you live. You buy groceries because that's what you do. You sign up for things, you subscribe to things, you accumulate things. Living on ship strips all of that down. My home includes food, entertainment, transportation to the next destination, and a bed. When I spend money, it's a deliberate choice every single time. And what that's done to how I think about value is, honestly, I wish I'd learned this like 30 years ago. It also changed how I think about the casino program, which if you haven't seen my video about how I earn free cruises, I'll put the link in the description. And I genuinely recommend it because it completely changes the math of how this life works for me. Okay, I want to talk about something that I don't think gets said enough. Surprise number 5, loneliness. I'm going to sit down for this one. Surprise number 5, loneliness. Not constant loneliness, not crippling loneliness, but it exists. And I think it would be dishonest of me to sit here on this beautiful balcony in France and tell you that every single day of this life is golden and glowing and perfect. There are mornings, more in the beginning than now, but still sometimes, where I wake up and the ocean is right there, and it's stunning. And I think I wish I had someone to share this with right now. Not in a sad way necessarily, just a real human way. The version of this life that gets shown on social media, and I'm aware I'm part of that, is the sunrises and the ports and the cafes and the beautiful ship, and all of that is real. So is the Tuesday afternoon when you don't feel like going anywhere and the ship feels a little quiet and you're scrolling your phone looking at everyone else's normal lives back home and wondering for just a moment what you gave up to be here. And then almost every single time something happens. Someone walks by and says something funny, or you go up to the top deck and the sun hits the water in that exact right way where it looks like diamonds. And you get a comment on a video from someone saying, "You changed how I think about my life." And the moment passes. I think that the surprise isn't that loneliness exists in this life. The surprise is that I've learned to sit with it instead of running from it. That's new for me. That's something this life has taught me. And that brings me to the biggest surprise of all. Who I became. I left corporate life thinking I was making a lifestyle change, new scenery, more freedom, less stress. Check, check, check. All that happened. Check, check, check. All of that did happen. What I didn't anticipate was that I would change. Not in a dramatic, motivational, inspirational poster kind of way, more quietly than that. I am more patient than I used to be. I don't know exactly when that happened, but it did. Things that would have wrecked my week before, a delayed port day, a plan that fell apart, a logistical headache, I handle very differently now. The ocean is a pretty good teacher of some things are just not in your control, and that's fine. I am more present, not perfectly. I still have my phone in my hand more than I'd like. Well, to take videos, but more than before. When you're watching a sunset over the Mediterranean from a ship balcony, it's actually hard not to be present. The world kind of demands it. I am more me. That one's hard to explain, but I'll try. In a corporate environment, you perform a version of yourself constantly. The professional version, the competent version, the version that has it all together in that meeting. I was good at that performance. I got paid well for it. But here on a ship, on camera, wandering in ports, talking to strangers, figuring things out in real time, trying not to get lost, that's nowhere to hide. You're just you. And it turns out I actually like who that is. So here I am, Le Havre, France, Majestic Princess. Over a year into a life I built from scratch because I asked myself one question. If not now, then when? And if you're someone who is sitting somewhere watching this right now, and you've been asking yourself a version of that question about your own life, whatever that looks like for you, I just want to say, the surprises are worth it. The hard days, they're worth it. Not all of them are pretty. Some of them are extra hard. Some of them are quiet and lonely and confusing. But on the other side of all of them is a version of you that you haven't met yet. And that person's really good. If this video meant something to you, please share it. Leave me a comment. I read every single one. And I genuinely love hearing from you. And if you're new here, subscribe and stick around because there's a lot more of this life left to share. Links to everything, the community, the comp video, all of it are in the description below. And I hope to see you on a cruise one day. Thanks. Look at this view. And Momo says the best place to drink coffee is down there. Talk about a view. Awesome. Time for a selfie.
Selfie. Bye.
Hello.
Selfie. Hello.
Au revoir.